Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SC2Links.com featured series. I'm Doom.
I'm Swunder.
And I'm Deadlift, and this is Game 2 of Vines versus Morrow. And in the top 12 o'clock position, the yellow Protoss, hailing from Korea, we have oGsVINES. And then at the 9 o'clock position, on the left, we have the blue Zerg, the player hailing from Sweden, Morrow. And it looks like, well, doesn't look like anything yet, but I assume both players will be going for a fairly standard macro build, which seems to be what they're known for, as Vines throws down the pylon for the Forge Fast Expand.
This is definitely a Forge Fast Expand map with that relatively narrow choke leading to the natural.
Yep, and it also has that destructible debris, if nothing else good for giving the Protoss a heart attack whenever it starts to get attacked.
Of course.
Destructible debris, man. Let's talk about some of the more useful things in the StarCraft 2 matchup.
Yeah. They need to have gold destructible debris.
Wait, so you
gain
gain income from destroying it?
I don't know. Yeah, it'll be like single player where when you destroy some stuff, there's just random minerals on the ground you can pick up.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Reaps from Warcraft 3.
There's 14 pool going down, so
whoever gets the most claws of attack will win.
No early link pressure for Morrow so far.
Yep, and I assume he'll follow this up with a hatchery as the drone starts to go down. And I'm sure Vines, well, maybe he won't be annoying with that probe.
Morrow's the type of guy that he will play a reactionary play style. So depending on what his opponent's showing him and what he's seeing from his opponent,
he could have got that hatchery down.
He could have. Well, no, he just hit 350 minerals right there. He is going to make the hatch at his opponent's natural.
Oh, so he did put it down.
He did put it.
Got me there.
Okay, so Vines is currently attacking the natural with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 probes. All right,
Actually, I really like this.
He forces a cancel, and he puts in an Evo chamber. Okay.
Is that the exact number of probes it takes to take out a hatchery?
That looks like it, but
yeah, that was pretty close.
This is interesting because although he kills that drone there, Morrow's got 2 Zerglings on the way. Pylon's been planted at his own natural, and Vines actually did the correct response, I guess, to that.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that play by Morrow.
He didn't play it a whole lot. Yeah, he canceled the hatchery twice, which I think is 150 minerals down the drain.
Yeah, I think so. 75 each time.
Yeah.
It did cause some mining time.
Yeah, a lot of lost mining time for Vines. That's a good point. And if nothing else, it probably confused the hell out of him because he's probably seen it before, actually, knowing how many games he's played. But it's definitely still unorthodox.
Yeah.
Well, Vines is one of these new up-and-coming players. I mean, he's been in Code A before. We have seen games out of him at the GSL. But being a member of OGS, he does stream his games, and he has made somewhat of a more recent prevalence on Reddit. People are linking to his stream, linking to his games, and interested in his games. So he's one of these players that, although he hasn't had a lot of success in major tournaments, I would look out for him in the coming days.
Yeah,
weeks,
definitely.
Months, years, you know. He's a young guy.
He's unique in that he's one of the few Koreans to play, very often on the North American server.
That's true.
Yep.
And Morrow's going for a standard 3-hatch build, quick third base, droning up heavily.
Yep, Vines doing as expected, getting the cyber core. Last game he went down for the 7 gateways. He could very well possibly do the same thing again this game.
It's true.
I guess we'll have to see.
Although we don't see any proxy pylons going down very early like last time.
That's a good point.
That's true, but we need to note that Morrow is getting a great scout off on everything that's going on in the base right now. He sees that the 2 gas have been taken, and he is seeing that there's only a gateway and a cybernetics core going on the way. And taking 3 base at this point, we've seen this from a lot of Zergs. He's just starting his 2 gas right now. This 3-base style with no gas, Swunder, what are the advantages of doing that against a Protoss in this situation on this kind of map?
Well, if you know your timings, you know the Protoss can't hit you for quite some time. He's going to get tons of drones, and since none of them are getting gas, he's going to have even more minerals, a 3rd hatchery to produce even more larvae. Depending on current timings, he may just throw down a Roach Warren in about 20 seconds, along with an Evo Chamber. And, we'll see if he chooses to do so.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the Forge Fast Expand. Well, it lets the Protoss get pretty quick economy up. It does get that gateway out pretty late. Like you can see right now, Vines only has 2 Zealots. So, I mean, you really can't really punish the Zerg super early for getting that 3rd base. And as I say that, you can see Vines throwing down 6 more gateways, so it looks like he is going for the 7 gate yet again, off 2 base.
So you got to think, Vines does this the first game, he's doing it the second game. He's got to feel pretty comfortable with this strategy, thinking, yeah, I can probably take MoRoW at this point. Throwing down this forward pylon even, down at the 3rd base.
It's a very strong strategy.
Do you think this is planned out for this map? Or is this just a general strategy that he might use against Zergs very frequently?
I think this is kind of one of those works on pretty much every kind of map. You know, especially with the Protoss warp in, it lets them, you know, it doesn't really matter wherever the pylon is, the units are there pretty much instantly.
These Lings are going to catch this probe, and they may see. Oh, they're going to see these units warping in.
Yep. So it looks like Vine's going for similar pressure as last game. Let's see how MoRoW holds it off this time.
MoRoW is producing nothing but roaches right now. He's expecting some kind of pressure, obviously.
And he gets an inject off of that Queen before it runs to a corner and gets killed by a Zealot. He's going to have to cancel that Spine Crawl at the 3rd. He has broken down the rocks between his 3rd and his natural, so he is in a good position to reinforce from there, but he's going to have to pull his drones. And do you think he's going to sack this 3rd?
Yeah, I think he pretty much has to at this point.
Well, we see him engaging with drones here, and 16 roaches on the way.
You should really send the drones back to his natural. Sack the 3rd. It's going to be really tough to fight this off right here.
Well, he's got to defend it. I feel like this is basically Vines and MoRoW's critical point at this game. Is MoRoW going to defend, or is Vines just going to overpower him here?
Could focus that hatch down.
He's ignoring the hatch. He's going for units, but he's just gets the hatchery. And he's going to have to run here.
Yeah, that was a good snipe at the end by Vines there. And of course, knowing the Stalkers are much quicker than the roaches off creep at this point.
But he's got a lot of roaches. He's got 23 roaches compared to the 6 Stalkers of Vines right now. We're looking at a 39 drones to 41 probe count, so Vines in an obvious lead there in terms of economy. But if we go to the income tab, yes, we do see that he's ahead in minerals, but MoRoW is mining more gas, and he has just taken a harvester lead.
Yeah, I feel like if he got that hatch, but MoRoW saved all those drones, I think this game would definitely be heavily in MoRoW's favor, even more so than it already is. But now he lost so many drones, got to re-drone before just, mass roaches. So, I don't know. They say they helped him defend, but I would have just sacked right away.
Well, he is going for Roach Spear right now, and he's going off of creep with these roaches. Do you feel like he's going to go for some type of counterattack here? I mean, we don't see any tech out of the Protoss player. We see literally just expansion play and gateways right now.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely hit with a nice roach timing. He's going to have so many roaches so quick, and deadlift, I'm sure you know how annoying that can be. And how hard
I know all about roach timings, especially when you forget that there's rocks at the back door of your third base. But,
of course.
But yeah, I mean, obviously roaches at around the 12-minute mark are pretty tough for Protoss to handle these days.
But really, we're coming up here on the 12, 13-minute mark, and we're even on harvesters, and we're even on bases. So, many would say that Protoss is at least even here.
Yeah, the third base for the Protoss is so key. It's really hard to hold, and especially, well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, we do see an observer on the way from MoRoW and a robotics bay going down for Vines, excuse me. And MoRoW is throwing down the Spire, and he's getting pathogens glands for his infestors, along with 1/1 carapace and armor.
Yeah, and Vine's going fairly standard again, getting a couple of mortals out of the robotics facility, getting a couple sentries for force fields and stalkers.
This is going to be
common.
It looks like he's going for Broodlords. This is going to be early Broodlords, or if not early, it's going to be low economy.
He is going for the hive, quick hive there. Well,
just got his
quick
third
hive,
back
13 minutes, is that considered a quick hive for
no,
most
but he's just got his third going, so that's a late third. It's going to have a weak economy to get Broodlords this early. Just getting his fifth and sixth gas going.
Well, if we look at the unit count, MoRoW's got 73 drones, He's made do with the 22 roaches that he made for that counter pressure. So if we think about it, at this point, he's pretty much only made drones since that attack from Vines. He has been very cost efficient with the way he's handled his larva, and I think, you know, looking at it from this perspective, it's probably going to pay dividends for him. He's got a higher income than the Protoss player right now, and he's in a harvester lead.
Yep.
So the disadvantage from losing that third base seems to be completely negligated at this point.
Yeah. Negligated?
I guess that's not a word.
One thing I will say is that if you sit back and let the Protoss get 3 bases, you'll also let him get Colossus out, pretty much get all the tech that he needs. I'm actually surprised that Extended Thermal Lance hasn't been researched yet. But you can see Vines get on 1 Colossus, 2 is on its way. Also getting upgrades. It's just really dangerous to let a Protoss get up on 3 bases.
It almost looks like
once that Death Ball gets down, which consists of like Colossus, Stalkers, a couple Sentry for force fields, you know, it's really tough to handle. For Zerg.
It almost looks like he's expecting mutas out of MouzMorroW here. He's got 2 photon cannons in his main, and he's got photon cannons protecting his third. But MouzMorroW doesn't look like he wants to put any pressure on. I think he looks content to just continuing expanding across the map.
MouzMorrow's throwing down those spines just in case of an attack to buy some time.
Yeah, this is actually similar to a Terran play I've seen out of MouzMorroW. There's a game between MouzMorroW and Lenok where MouzMorrow's actually playing Terran because he plays Terran against Zerg, oddly enough. But he uses these 2 areas on this map, Metropolis, to kind of create a choke point for himself, a natural choke point where he can defend almost in the fashion of the movie 300. If you think about StarCraft in the way about cost efficiency and gathering an income and you know, building an economy, you know, MouzMorrow's thinking way more steps ahead in the game at this point than it looks like Vines is, to be completely honest.
I really like the 300 analogy.
Yeah, man.
We need more movie analogies.
Yeah.
The question is, when does the hunchback guy show up? With, like, the deformed face.
Oh. You think MouzMorrow's going to get deceived by a hunchback on this map?
I don't know. Well, who's Sparta?
Well, I believe MouzMorrow is Sparta for this.
Yeah, it looks like he's holding down.
Enough about movie analogies. We have Vines moving out.
Oh, you are right. And we are moving up on maxed armies right now.
I guess we can talk about the game then.
These are really excellent combinations from both players here.
Yep.
What's he going to do in this choke point here? Vines hits in this choke point. MouzMorrow's he's got tons of fungals, he's got broodlords.
He can't attack into those spines.
He does.
He can blink up into the 5th here and take out the hatch if he wants, if he even knows it's going down.
He does have +3 on the way, so it looks like he's trying to hit some kind of timing here where he achieves his +3 and his attack.
These broodlords have this high ground, and they're going to be really tough to deal with. This map is really great for broodlords, it looks like.
Yeah. And this map is being added in the next season of the Blizzard map pool, along with Daybreak and Ohana is the other one, I think.
Yeah, ESV Ohana.
Yep. And I believe they're taking out Shattered Temple.
Really? Oh, and it looks like
sorry to see it go.
Vines is just going to turn around.
Yep.
He's getting his 4th base up. No, he wasn't confident enough to have an engagement there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of posturing this game, more so than attacking.
Is he getting his mothership out?
He's getting a fleet beacon. You know,
yeah, so we'll see a mothership.
Vines hasn't actually scouted the 3rd, the 4th, or the 5th, or even the natural. Vines has done literally no scouting this entire game. If we go to his vision, he's seen a spawning pool and this choke that MouzMorrow has set up. Beyond that, he has no idea, unless he's seen units.
20 minutes into the game, I'm sure both players pretty much know what each other have. Maxed armies with the best composition available right now.
I'm actually surprised that Vines doesn't have a Dark Shrine yet. Seems like he has pretty much every other tech structure. And Dark Shrine's actually, I would say, very useful in the PvZ matchup.
Oh, definitely.
I'm surprised to see him not have that, considering he's sitting on, you know, loads and loads of resources.
This is turning out to be what I would normally say is an epic game, but really they haven't done anything besides expand and upgrade.
This is basically BGH at this point.
Well, the thing about it is that MouzMorrow has significantly better scouting than Vines does right now. That's how I'm seeing it.